Hello everyone and welcome to It's Football Time in the Bluegrass 2016-17 season. Welcome back for another exciting season. Some of you managers have already been doing a lot of talking on the message board, so I thought it was time to bring back the bold predictions and review. So let's go ahead and get started off with last week, week 3's football review. Starting off with the Silverbacks versus the Sunday Survivors. Silverbacks got a 33-point lead right off the bat from Ezekiel Elliott and 30 points from Andrew Luck to defeat Sunday Survivors 175-158. Silverbacks came into Sunday night's game facing an 8-point deficit but scored 33 points for the comeback. Each team failed to hit their projections, but Silverbacks managed to score 85% of his projected 207 points for the win. For Sunday Survivors, Eli Manning and Antonio Brown played the roles of Maverick and Goose, scoring 32 points and 62 points respectively. Sunday Survivors dropped to 8th place, and Silverbacks unfortunately remain in 9th place. The Champagne Pappy, I don't know how you say it, but I will go with Champagne Pappy, took advantage of the 35 points from Christine Michael and 34 points from DeMarco Murray to take down Team Walter 254-209. The Champagne Poppy was better than projected and scoring 11% more than their projected 228 points. While Team Walter just fell short of hitting their projection and got 90% of their projected 227 points. Next game is the Raging Falcoholics. They picked up their third win in a row when they beat the Horsemen 277-195. Recording the highest point total this season, the streak is due in part to Raging Falcoholics having the highest scoring output in the league at 232 points per matchup. Adding insult to injury, Horsemen had just scored 0 points with Rob Gronkowski. Horsemen goes 2-1 and falls to 4th place. Raging Falcoholics stay unbeaten in 1st place after knocking over Doomsday 202-201 and Kentucky Headhunters 216-205. Deep Bombers, with the Eye of the Tiger playing in the background, recorded the second highest point total this season and defeated Kentucky Headhunters 268-227, overcoming a 30-point spread. It seems Kentucky Headhunters showed up to the draft and then disappeared. They have gone all season without a win. With 54 points, Drew Brees wound up producing the second highest score in the league this week. The Deep Bombers, which is 1-2, climbs into 6th place, and Kentucky Headhunters, which is 0-3, drops to last place. Flip the Hooey earns their third win in as many matchups where they beat Doomsday 223-210 in a Monday night comeback. They were led by LeGarrette Blunt with 34 points. The streak is due in part to Flip the Hooey having the third highest scoring output in the league at 228 points per matchup. It could have been worse. Flip the Hooey had a starter score 0 points. Doomsday goes 1-2 and remains in 7th place. It's not time to start talking about an undefeated season yet, people, but Flip the Hooey has kept the streak alive after demolishing Deep Bombers 236-180 and the Champagne Poppy 224-191. Now time for some bold predictions. Upset game of the week, Silverbacks versus Raging Falcoholics. The upset? Falcoholics lose. While Falcoholics have been on a dominating streak, and I like their matchups this week, I believe that Minnesota's defense is going to shut down Odell Beckham Jr., and the Jets are going to put a beat down on the Seattle Seahawks. It'll be a close game, but bold prediction, upset of the week, it's going to be close, but Silverbacks will win by less than 10. Next up, the Champagne Pappy versus Sunday Survivors. Now, I'm not going to let my prejudice show, but Champagne Pappies and Sunday Survivors will have the same record after this week. meaning they're both going to be 2-2 because survivors will win. Not only will they will win by 10 plus. I think Pappy's players will be a wash this week, with Evans going against a strong Denver defense and Hilton having to face an emerging Jaguars defense. Le'Veon Bell's going to be back for him, but he's going to be splitting carries. The other guy, Williams, and his projected 26 points, Bell, is going to actually be 15. Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. I think Survivors has the win. Win is going to be bigger than 10. That's my prediction. The next game will be Team Walter versus Flip the Huey. Right off the bat, I have to say that Flip the Huey will see their first loss of the season. Walter just has great matchups this week. All the stars have aligned for Walter, and he will have the biggest blowout this week.
Biggest blowout!
Against Flip the Huey, and he will beat him by 20. Sorry, Huey, but I just feel like the matchups are there. Game of the week, which is going to be between Deep Bombers and the Horsemen. Both teams are closely matched with having similar matchups this week, but bold prediction, I'm going to have to go with Deep Bombers for the win. I like Bombers' matchup a little bit better, and I don't like the fact that Gronkowski will be starting for another week without Brady, coming off an injury. It's going to be close, but I think Bombers are going to win by less than 10. Last game. It's going to be between Doomsday and Kentucky Headhunters. Man, would I like to see Headhunters with a win, but I'm going to have to go with Doomsday on this one too. I think Roethlisberger is going to be ready to put a shine on that other defense after a terrible loss against Philadelphia last week. And I think PETA is going to have a capital day against Oakland, which will be the two people that are going to set them apart and make Doomsday come out victorious. So these are your review and your bold predictions. If you have any rebuttals, put it in the message board or comment below. Thank you. See you all next week.